scientific death.
In the late 1960s, an era of experimental nuclear testing pushed the boundaries of power generation to their absolute limits. This facility operated an experimental prototype known as a liquid metal fast breeder reactor, or LMFBR. To achieve maximum efficiency, the design relied on volatile elements instead of standard pressurized water. This diagram illustrates the core design choice. Engineers used liquid sodium as the primary coolant for its exceptional thermal conductivity. At 500 degrees Celsius, this stream of molten metal pulled heat from the core faster than conventional cooling loops. But this pursuit of thermodynamic efficiency required a dangerous gamble, pairing a highly reactive liquid metal with a high-pressure cooling system. Inside the steam generator, molten sodium flowed along the outside of a bundle of thin-walled alloy tubes. Inside those tubes, water was pumped at a working pressure of 2,000 psi. During a high-power thermal test cycle, a manufacturing defect hidden beneath the surface of a single alloy tube finally fractured under the intense thermal fatigue. The massive pressure differential propelled the water through the split tube wall at supersonic speeds, forcing it directly into the sodium loop. By breaching this mechanical barrier, high-pressure water mixed directly with superheated liquid metal, initiating a sequence that the entire system was unequipped to handle. What followed was governed by the strict chemistry of exothermic alkali metal kinetics. The exact millisecond the water contacted the 500-degree sodium, it triggered an instantaneous oxidation-reduction reaction, breaking down into sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. In mere microseconds, the reaction released an immense amount of thermal energy, totaling negative 368 kilojoules per mole. Alongside this heat, the chemical reaction generated rapidly expanding volumes of flammable hydrogen gas and steam. Because the sodium was contained inside a heavy steel vessel, these non-compressible gases had nowhere to go. They created a localized hydraulic shockwave that spiked beyond 10,000 psi. The closed vessel architecture, which was built to trap heat, effectively weaponized these expanding gases into a pressurized chemical bomb. The blast triggered a secondary failure mechanism known as impingement waste. The sodium hydroxide byproduct is a hyper-corrosive molten slag. Driven by the extreme vessel pressure, this caustic fluid acted like a chemical cutting torch. This high-velocity jet sliced through the neighboring steel tubes in milliseconds. The resulting cascade of leaks multiplied the pressure until the exterior shell of the heat exchanger physically tore open. For the technician standing directly above the module, the results were instantaneous. Inhaling the caustic mist caused immediate airway closure, while the hot alkali triggered deep tissue saponification, liquefying cell membranes down to the bone. Seconds later, the escaping hydrogen ignited, creating a 2,000-degree thermal flash. The sheer chemical violence of this chain reaction moved at speeds that human intervention or analog safety protocols could never hope to match. The post-mortem investigation yielded a clear conclusion. When dealing with reactive liquid metals, relying on a single structural barrier is a mathematical risk the industry can no longer take. This disaster led to a permanent change in how sodium-cooled plants are built, centering on a new standard, the Intermediate Heat Transport Loop, or IHTL. The IHTL places a secondary, non-radioactive sodium loop between the primary reactor core and the steam generator. This physical separation guarantees that even if the steam generator suffers a catastrophic explosion, the concussive force cannot travel backward to damage the primary nuclear core. The industry shifted its primary defense from material strength to architectural isolation. To maintain this isolation, modern facilities use mandatory networks of highly sensitive electrochemical and acoustic sensors. These ultrasonic sensors are specifically calibrated to detect the sound of a single microbubble of hydrogen appearing in the sodium stream. If a leak is detected, automated systems activate high-speed dump valves. They eject all pressurized water in under 2 seconds while flooding the cavity with inert nitrogen gas to smother any reaction. modern liquid metal reactors are not built to simply survive a failure. They are engineered to detect and outrun catastrophic chemistry before it even begins.